In stressful job news, submitted by Rolex Smartwatch.
What?
Oh, I never heard of that.
That'd be crazy. Facebook content reviewers are not coping well with the stress of repeatedly viewing graphic and offensive material.
Ooh. So stop using Facebook.
That's a good job for serial killers.
Yeah.
Or like people that are like crazy, but like they have these urges to look at crazy things.
But they might also say, "Oh, the decapitation, that's not graphic."
Yeah.
And then it's gonna like surface.
Well, they'll be taught like criteria. They'll be taught
like objective
so then they can
things.
see it, and then they won't be emotionally affected by it. But then they know, oh, bad. Like Dexter. Like Dexter's told good from bad. He knows, but he's still got these urges.
Right.
You know?
They lack empathy and they have to learn what that is, right?
People just need longer vacation times to unwind and better breaks.
Some of the things you can't unsee though. So we got a cop buddy, and he sees like maybe 3 to 4 crazy shit every single day.
This is the cop buddy that I met?
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense.
One of the pictures he showed me was of they got a call to a suicide. So it was like a 40-year-old lady that got into a big fight with her boyfriend. Some shit happens, and then she grabbed the gun and she put it in her mouth and she pulled the trigger.
Oh shit.
So the picture that he showed me, this chick was in a bathrobe still on the floor, and brains and puddle.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
You saw that?
Yeah, and he's like, I see shit like that 3 to 4 times a night.
Person.
Right.
Yeah.
And in person, and you got to deal with the smell
3
of
to 4
it.
times a night?
Yeah.
God.
There's this crazy shit all the time, like that's going down.
I saw that terrorist video that came out on like Facebook and everything.
You mean the beheadings?
The beheading?
That was pretty
I
crazy.
saw that.
scrolled
I
past
saw
those.
that. One, I just heard the guy scream and his voice started gurgling because of the blood. That shit traumatized me for like a couple months. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't
You
go
know
on
what?
Facebook. I couldn't watch anything.
I feel like I watch like just by watching Hollywood, like you know, like horror movies and just movies in general has desensitized me to the real shit. Because if I do see this stuff now, it's kind of weird. Like it's not. I should be more affected by it. I
Do
think.
you think you would be if it was in person, like live, like you saw that shit happen in front of you?
Maybe,
Yeah.
but I mean, it still will. But I feel like just if I didn't watch those movies in the first place, I think it would be affecting even more. Like I'd be like, oh my god, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think there's no way you can't be desensitized with like all the graphic content that's out there. But also, even within that, I think some people are still just a little bit more squeamish. They can't handle,
Blood.
certain things.
I don't
right?
like blood. No, I like blood. I don't like vomit.
But I don't know. Like I've seen the beheading video, and I didn't get squeamish from it. I saw it and I was like,
Fucking serial killer, dude.
no, I saw it and I'm like, that's fucked up, and I feel terrible for the.
While he was
person.
eating.
Oh yeah, like
That's true. I get squeamish when I watch someone get kicked in the nuts, but that beheading video didn't fuck me up the way that.
right.
Oh, that shit messed me up, dude.
Like, you know those fail videos where guys would skateboard and
Right,
they'll hit
right,
their nuts
right.
on a rail? I'm like,
Yeah, that's when I have that reaction, like, oh shit. But then
Yeah.
if it's something violent,
Do you think maybe because you haven't experienced it and you know what the ball hitting feels like?
maybe.
It's not even that. It's just like when I watched that video, I could hear how scared that person was, and I could
They're crying for their lives.
and I could hear how angry the other person was. So that emotion felt too visceral for me. It just felt too real.
You even just describing it, it's making me feel so like.
Because as he's about to get beheaded, the guy is like screaming, and then it wasn't even that. It was more the guy's whatever he was chanting before he was gonna do it. He was saying it in rage, almost as if he was convincing himself that he has to do this.
Right.
It almost sounded like he didn't want to do it, and he had to do it anyways for the whatever cause that he was doing. And that shit made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you see the drug cartel decapitating one?
No, I didn't see that.
that's crazy.
That shit's crazy because they do it like this is the 1,000th time they've done it.
Yeah.
It's just the silence.
Desensitized.
Yeah, it's just so eerie. It was just like, they just go and grab the other lady and the guy. And
Business as usual.
Yeah, you're just like,
all over the world.
Yeah.
Why are we talking
Yeah.
about this again? I'm sorry.
Facebook content review.
Oh, got it. Okay.
See, but then like we're just talking about it,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, oh, that's sad. Imagine watching this shit.
Yeah, that's
Right.
yeah, that's
like
rough.
those decapitating videos. Like it passed by my Facebook feed too, because fucking Daily Mail kept putting it up there, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, I don't even want to find out what my my reaction would be.
What they need to do?
Look at it.
You know how when you're like shopping for cologne, they give you a coffee bean to smell? Mm-hmm. So in between every graphic thing, they just gotta look at Karopi or some shit.
I don't think it works like that. Because so for here, what we're talking about here is
They gotta see something cute.
Some fucking Hello Kitty
In
shit.
between people getting killed, there's
I
like a
feel
puppy
better now.
video. Puppy chases
puppy.
fucking.
Just to like rinse their brain real quick.
Sounds so
That's
cute.
what we're talking about here. So Facebook's content moderation facility in Arizona is operated by a vendor called Cognizant. And so these employees here, these moderators, they are paid $15 an hour. So like nowhere near what actual Facebook.
Oh, so is this a manual process then? Like
Yeah.
somebody sitting there. and
Someone's
actually-
sitting there and actually reviewing every single thing that you flag. And so they're saying that these
That's good to know.
employees- Yeah, like The Verge did this whole like a report on these people. And so they spoke to a lot of these employees, current and ex-employees, and for example, one of them said that he carries a gun with him where he goes because he's scared of people that have gotten fired, or if someone finds out who the content review people are and then they get upset because their offensive material was taken down or something, and then they come and try to retaliate.
Oh.
You couldn't even find out who's reviewing these? That's
No, they do take.
They just have to develop their own PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. They actually have developed PTSD, and other employees they end up having sex with each other in like the bathroom and stuff just to like release the stress.
Yeah.
That's a good excuse.
They'll end up getting.
That happens at all workplaces.
Yeah.
Like what?
It's like I was so stressed. I had to do it. I had to bust a nut. I'm sorry.
Did you see the decapitation video? I saw the fucking decapitation video.
But yeah, they're just saying that they're just in order to cope with the intense.
I feel like people don't fuck at the workplace.
They fucking Afghanistan. The military people, they fucking Afghan. They fuck everywhere.
Yeah.
For sure, but this is just something
It's like-
that they're
That's why it's a
all-
funny excuse.
Yeah, and then they're also using drugs.
I'm sure there's some there's like some psychological shit where they need to like connect in a different way, like to feel like human again. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
If I'm like nervous, I'm like, hurry, somebody suck my dick.
But it happens every like Costco workers probably fuck each other.
Yeah, but I think
Cops,
I
you
think
know?
at this level, so I feel for these guys because I hate.
I feel for them too. It's just a funny excuse.
Yeah.
I just don't really see it as an excuse, but I feel for them, as I'm sure everyone else in this room does too. I hate watching news because I know it's all for ratings. I know it's all drama based. I know it's just to fuck with you. But my mom really likes watching the news, so when I'm at home, out of respect to her, I just let her watch whatever she's watching. And it's like there's a news at like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they just keep repeating the same fucking.
Why does she like the
dramatic
news?
stories? I don't know.
I picture your mom going
A lot of older people do. Yeah, I mean, they
the whole time.
so I'm there and I'm listening
She
to
does.
these stories, and like it affects me to the point where like I'm trying not to even think about it or hear it or let it affect me, but it does. And I'm
Even the
thinking,
way they announce shit makes me nervous.
yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, I feel like I should carry a gun these days now because like all the shit that they're reporting, but then I have to like pull myself away from that and be like, nah, dude, like this is. They're
But if I
obviously
watched the
doing it.
news too, would you want to fuck me too? Like, oh, would you watch the Channel 7 with me?
I think if I'm watching very dramatic and like very traumatizing things like that, I
Yeah.
think I would need anything to feel some sort of
Different
connection.
people have different ways of coping too. Sex
Yeah.
is just one form. Another form
That's
is
true,
drugs.
right.
Like
I've always
people are
had
going
sex
to
with my
work high as
study
fuck most of the time.
No, but I mean,
Trauma from that studying. dude.
You're like, I can't fuck the midterm. Oh, we gotta fuck.
no, but like I could understand how it's fucking them up like mentally because
Yeah,
you
I
know
can see that.
yeah, you look at it from like a doctor, right? Like doctors can't look at their patients as human beings. They need to look at them as objects
Yeah.
to basically separate. Because
Yeah.
once they start thinking about them as human beings, they can't do what they need to do.
That's why they talk so much shit during the surgery.
No, but that connects to their marital relationships. When a lot of doctors, law enforcement, they have problems at home because they have a hard time like getting back to human interaction. Like, okay, I can't be, if you like a OBGYN, I can't be aroused by female parts.
So give
And
me that
then-
asshole. Or what else? Give me that nostril.
Give me that armpit, you know, whatever. But
They gotta
and then they
change it
go
up.
home and then they try to be intimate with their partner, but they can't because
true.
it's like turned on and off. It's like a
know.
switch. So I
Pussy
can
ain't
see-
special if you see it every day.
I'm glad I'm not an OBGYN.
Specialist, you see it every day.
That's another
a shirt.
achievement right there.
That's like a dope 1990s fucking rap lyric, dude.
Something Tupac would write.
Tupac shit, yeah.
Yo, do that shit in the Tupac rhythm right now.
Special if you see it every day.
Tupac rhythm right now.
pussy ain't special if you see it every day. Mama make miracles every Thanksgiving. Baby.
And you always see the bad side of pussy too. If you're OBGYN,
You get the stank and you get
Damn.
you get the roast beef and you get everything with it, you know?
You get the baby head sticking out.
Oh man.
Oh,
But bussy always looks good though.
Bussy?
Back
back pussy, remember?
Oh.
Back pussy.
Not if they got extra roast beef though.
No, but the bussy way, it cleans it all up.
And you got the butt cheeks still.
Yep.
But yeah,
It don't
medical
matter.
Cognizant here, they're saying that
Yeah.
they provide a therapist or someone to talk to during work time, but then like the standards that they make these employees have, they have to have like a 95% accuracy rate, which is like,
Wow.
and then they have to meet like there's certain, they don't have a technical quota, but they're like, oh, if you have to review 200 posts or whatever, like and then you end up asking for help for one particular post because there's a guy walking around that gets paid $1 an hour more.
Yeah.
And then he's supposed to be like super knowledgeable of all the Facebook policies and stuff, and then he'll come over but then that takes time away from the rest of your quota you need to fulfill, and then like it's just the pressure is crazy, and then what you're actually consuming by reviewing everything is intense.
You know, the thing is too, like these people are just normal ass people. It's not like you're being trained to be
Yeah.
desensitized to this thing.
Yeah.
You pick it up on the job, whereas like a doctor or a cop, they have to go through a certain amount of time and training before they can practice what it is they're practicing. This is just, okay, sit in in front of a computer and flag all these, you know, graphic content.
that's true. What if you were like a fucking goat farmer and then
Go farmer.
Day one, he was going like this.
Yeah. And then now he's looking at people getting
you're
beheaded like, oh Jesus.
no,
Oh no.
right?
I miss
You
goats.
live in a nice little farm, town of like 100 people. Everyone's nice. They nobody locks their doors and shit. And you're like, there's a new job.
$15 an hour.
Yeah.
Moving to the city?
And then they fucking do this shit, and they're like, the world is crazy, man.
Yeah.
That'll be shocking, dude. That'll be so shocking.
But you know what? Don't you guys feel effects of that too, though? Like, ever since technology became so integrated with our life, don't you just kind of feel more desensitized to bad news and like the bad things that are happening because you're bombarded with it all the time? Before you caught it in like moments. Now it's like 24/7. If you're on the phone looking at news outlets, there's
We
always
don't even need
something.
that. We have Tiff for JK News. Blows up my whole mind all the time.